The sad irony in my life is that I repeated that experience over and over and over. And no matter how many times I repeated it, I still couldn't bring myself to stop gambling. No matter how many times I felt the pain, I still couldn't stop gambling.
They want to stop, but they can't stop. They get very angry when they're trying to stop. They lie to themselves and to other people. They borrow money. They jeopardize relationships. There's the constant thinking about the gambling. Those are some of the things that are hallmarks of a compulsive gambler.
It starts out usually with what we call a big win, and that would be where someone would win at least the equivalent of 1 month's salary. And usually the earlier on the big win, the more likely they are to become a compulsive gambler. Frequently, the compulsive gambler will have as many as a dozen different lines of credit or credit cards. They'll also turn to other relatives to get money or loans from other relatives. And in the late stages of compulsive gambling, people will oftentimes turn to crime.
I was a manager of a store, and so I was in charge of making the nightly deposits and daily deposits and stuff. So I would take money, the cash, save the checks, gamble, win, put that money back, keep a little bit for myself, make that deposit a day late. That's kind of the cycle I was going through.
I was holding down my job. It was very difficult. I started embezzling. I needed a lot of money to go through thousands in a day.
So why do I have this problem? Well, what's wrong with me? I ask those questions all the time. And I asked those questions when I first entered into the 12-step program.
For a gambler to have a pocket full of money is no different than a cocaine addict having a pocket full of cocaine, or an alcoholic having a bottle of whiskey. It's the drug. The
chemical reactions for people that are compulsive gamblers are very similar to the chemical reactions for people that use stimulants.
I remember flying out to Vegas, and it would be like a 3.5 hour flight, and I would spend the entire time on the flight trying to decide whether I was going to get a blue Ferrari or a red Ferrari with my winnings, and I was dead serious about it.
And it was devastating when I went into treatment and had to lose it. You know, it was a grief and loss thing. It's the end of a great love affair.
The machine couldn't reject you.
No, never reject me.
People are what reject us, so we stay right.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're up against.
It never spit my money back out at me. It never said, you know what, you are unworthy to touch me. It never said any of that. Yeah. We won't take the emotional risk out of fear of rejection, but we will take that financial risk.
We work so hard to protect our feelings.
Oh, yeah.
So hard.
This is probably the greatest gift that I've ever received, is recovery, because it gives me the opportunity to appreciate all the other gifts that I have in my life. So it's wonderful.